Hi, this is Ben Wheeler with Ignition Sequence, and I'm going to talk about the simplest, quickest, first kids coding project that you can possibly do. Something that you can do in 5 minutes that'll be cool, where you'll kind of understand what's going on, and where you'll be able to sort of show a kid what coding is and get them into it, at least as a first step. So we're going to use the Scratch programming platform. I'm going to search Google for Scratch. And the first result, it took me there in my URL. Okay, so Scratch is made by MIT. It's free. Lots of kids use it. Millions of kids use it around the world. And you can make a free account if you don't have one already. I have one. I'm already logged in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the Create button at the top. It starts you off with a cat. That's called the Scratch cat. And I'm going to start by having this cat move back and forth. So you can see there's these sections of code: motion, looks, sound. I'm going to use the motion section, and there's this block here, move. So I'm going to drag that out. This is my programming area. I'll zoom in just a little bit. So anytime I click on this, it's going to move the cat forward 10 steps. And if I use a turn and turn the cat a little bit, turning it 15 degrees every time I click, then when I click move, it'll move forward the way it's pointing. Okay, so far not a program. We're just sort of doing stuff step by step. Here's how to make this a program. Instead of just moving 10 steps one time, we're going to go to the control section and get a forever loop. So you see, this has a space for one of these blocks to go inside it. See how it kind of seems like it'll fit right in? And sure enough, if I move this move inside it, it snaps into place. And now if I click on this forever, the cat's just going to keep moving forward forever. But where'd it go? It just moved forward forever, and now it's gone. I want it to come back. So let's go back to the motion section. And if you scroll down, you'll see this if on edge bounce. So this just says, hey, check if you're on the edge, and if you are, turn around. So I'm going to get this if on edge bounce, and I'm going to add this to my forever loop. It's going to move 10 steps, and if it's on the edge, it's going to bounce. And there we go. Now the cat is going all around the screen. Okay. So the first thing people will see if they run your program won't be the program running with the cat moving. It'll be stopped. And they'll click the green flag to start it. I'm clicking the green flag, but nothing's happening. What's wrong? Well, over here, I'm not saying that I should start this forever loop. So what I need is to add something that says when the green flag is clicked, then run this forever loop. So let's click on the events section at the top. That's got all kinds of things that say when this happens, do this. The first one is when the green flag is clicked. So I'm going to grab that and think about where I should put that. I'm going to attach it right to the top of this forever loop, and it'll snap right into place. Now, when the green flag is clicked, forever, over and over, it will move 10 steps, check if it's on the edge. If it is, bounce, turn around. And keep doing that forever. Move 10 steps, if on edge, bounce. Move 10 steps, if on edge, bounce. But it's not just going to do it. It's going to do it when the green flag is clicked. So let's click the green flag and see if it works. All right. So now here, one cool question to ask is, how can I make the cat go slower? What number could I change? Well, it's moving 10 steps each time we run through this forever loop. What if instead of moving 10 steps, I moved 2 steps or 1 step? Let's try 2 steps. It's less than 10. So each time it's going to move just 2 steps. Look how much slower. Now what about making the cat faster? How about move 30 steps? Very fast. So here's a fun place where kids will often want to jump in and start trying different numbers, and they'll try 100 and 1,000 and 99999 and see how fast they can make it. It's really fun to do. Then try to bring it back to something that's in the ballpark of being reasonable, 10 or 15 or 5 or something. All right, now what we're going to do, we're going to stop it, and we're going to add a little friend for the cat. They're going to play tag. They're going to play chase. So if you see this new sprite area here, there's these different ways to add a new sprite. You could take a photo using your computer. You could upload a picture that you find on the internet or that you have. So you could upload a family photo. You can upload a picture that you find in Google image search. You could paint something and draw something from scratch. Or you can use the Scratch library. And that's sort of the quickest way to do it. That's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to click on this little face. And there's all these different characters that I can choose from. So which is one that's going to be fun? I'm going to pick a little dinosaur. Maybe a dog. All right. So here we've got this blue dog. And I'm going to move it a little bit away from the cat. And now this blue dog, I could have it move around too. But here's what gets really fun. I could have the blue dog turn and point in the direction of the cat. So I'm going to get in the motion section, I'm going to get this point towards. Now I don't want to point towards the mouse pointer. I'm going to click on this little black triangle for a drop-down menu. And I'm going to choose the cat. Now Sprite 1, not the best name for the cat. So let's go over here. I'll right click or context click or click on the eye. And then I can rename this. I'm going to just call it cat. And click to go back. And dog 2, that's fine. So now in the dog section, if I click on the dog, here's the dog's code. In this drop down, I can point towards the cat. So let's try clicking on it and seeing if it turns towards the cat. All right. And now I can say, move 10 steps forward. And it'll move 10 steps forward. If we move the cat over here and go back to the dog and say, point towards the cat and move 10 steps, it points towards the cat and moves 10 steps towards the cat. So it's always going to be chasing the cat. So let's have it do it over and over and over. What should I get in the control section? This forever loop. And I can put it right around this code. I love how it snaps together. That really makes it clear that these pieces of code belong inside the forever loop. And just like with the cat, I'm going to get this one green flag clicked in the events section. So now when we click green flag, the cat goes zooming around and the dog is chasing after it. Now, it might be fun if the dog was a little farther away from the cat, right? So how can we make the dog lag behind the cat more and slow down? Same way we made the cat slow down. We're going to move 5 steps instead of 10 steps for the dog. Or maybe we could do 2 steps. That makes it kind of not be moving at all. Or we could do 8 steps. That's just a little farther away than it was before. It sort of seems to catch the cat from time to time. So we'll do some number that's in there. And now it would be fun if something happened when it touched the cat. Maybe the dog could say, got you, or bark. So I'm going to go to the looks section. We're going to make something appear and look. So we have this say block. This is super useful because it's like a word balloon and a character can say something. So I'm going to get this say block. We're going to put it down here. Or actually, I'll put it separate for a second. Because we don't just want it to say it all the time. This would be, it could say, bark, I caught you. But now it's just saying it all the time. Every time it loops through the forever, it's saying it, and then saying it, and then saying it. So we really only want to do it if the dog is touching the cat. So in the control section again, we have an if then, and we'll put that right around just the say part. So now we want to say if the dog is touching the cat. We're in the dog section, so we just need touching cat. Can you figure out what section might have touching? It's the sensing section. So you click on the sensing section, and here you have this touching. Just like before, it's suggesting mouse pointer, but there's a little drop down, and you can say, no, touching cat. And put this right in this if section. So now it's going to say, if I am touching the cat, then say, bark, I caught you, for 2 seconds. Now it's kind of saying it very often. So maybe we should have it say it for less than 2 seconds, maybe 1 second. Yeah, it's still kind of saying it a lot. So maybe one thing we could do is we could change the angle that the cat is going into. So let's go back to the cat. Let's try turning it a little more. Now the cat kind of stays away from the dog a little longer. We could also add a sound. Let's go back to the dog. click on the sounds section. And just like with the sprites, the first button will give us a library of scratch sounds. And I bet there's a dog bark in here. You might want to look under the D's. Oh yeah, look, there's dog 1 and dog 2. Okay, so we're going to get dog 1. And I don't think this sound is going to come through in the video, but it's a barking sound. You can go back to the scripts section, go to the sound code section, not to be confused. This is the sounds that we're kind of assembling in our sounds library in this tab. And the script section is sound code, the blocks that we can say, now play this sound, now play this sound. So we'll get a play sound, dog 2, and put that in when it catches. And then every time it touches, it's going to give a bark. Okay, and that's pretty much it. And you can do lots of variations on this. You can make the cat go much faster. You could make the dog always, after it catches the cat, maybe it starts all the way up here. And you can see the X and Y values down here. When I move the dog up here, X is like negative 200 and Y is like 125. So we could get one of these go-tos. And when I move the dog around, the go-to value here in the code section here is gonna change to reflect where I've put the dog. So I'll just get this go-to now that I've moved the dog where I want it to be, and we'll have it go there after it says I caught you. So now it's trying to catch the cat and trying to see how far it gets. And it might be a little more fun if we slow down the cat. There we go. All right, so this can be the beginning of doing something fun. You can have more characters. Some of them can be chasing each other. You can have characters turn away from each other. You can have characters who are just going back and forth. You can have points that you can add. There's a million little things. One fun thing to do next is to add a background in the stage section. If you come to this stage section and you click on new backdrop down here, try that and try picking a background. Be sure to name your program. I'll call this cat dog chase. I'm going to save it, clicking save now. And I'm also going to share it so that other people can see it. So now it'll say my project is shared. All right, please enjoy.